Jeff?
So it looks like you're going to be playing these games for a while until you get your hitting going. But what do you think was the difference tonight that helped you get over where you weren't quite able to do it last night?
Well, we're still not clicking offensively. We left some runs on the board with the runners at third base and not executing, so stretch it out. But I just think the mindset at the end, I mean, Ethan coming in there at the end in a pressure thing. And I know he walked the guy, but give that, to lead off the ninth, but give their guy credit. He fouled off a bunch of pitches and worked a tough at bat, but not to let that play or that at bat impact the emotions and how he carried it. Just, stayed with his confidence, stayed with his good stuff, and was still aggressive in the zone. And that was our whole message, was don't fear the result. Things are sometimes going to go your way. Sometimes they're not. You got to keep battling and just play hard, let it out. Don't let the game dictate how you react emotionally. And I think we did a really good job of that tonight.
Michael?
I just asked Joe about what he saw from Tyler on the mound tonight. He talked about how his fastball rose to the zone. I'm curious if that's what you saw as well, and what else you saw out of Tyler tonight.
Well, he's competitive. It's interesting because, and we always say he doesn't wow you necessarily in the bullpen, and he just he cranks it up in the game. And I just think his competitiveness, and certainly he's got good stuff. I think I walked in at the end when Joe was commenting on his spin rate. He does have elite spin rate, which is, makes it a little tough on the hitter. But I think it's as much as anything else, I think it's his competitiveness. And, he's not going to give in. He's going to make you beat him. And tonight he pitched very, very aggressively and did his job again, giving us the chance to win the game. That's the starter's job.
Alex?
Hey, Coach, yesterday you mentioned that the bats looked tentative. Was that something that you saw fixed a little bit today? And what did you think happened when runners were on scoring position?
Well, that was a point of emphasis. And then, when you have a runner at third, the tendency, I think, a lot of times you're a little amped up. And so it's like, it's that constant in-game adjustments of dialing that emotion back. We're not clicking offensively at all right now. And that's something we'll continue to work on, but it happens. And the tendency sometimes is guys like the press when you're not getting it done offensively. But we've got good hitters who aren't hitting right now, and those guys are going to come around. And I think once that does, with the pitching and the defense we have, I think we're going to be in a position to win a lot of baseball games.
Jacob?
Tracy, when Joe Lampe originally came here, he announced that he was going to transfer to ASU. He told me that the biggest way he thought he could make an impact was just to be a guy who could be speedy and make a difference with his legs. What did you see from him tonight? And just was this what you envisioned when he originally said that he was going to come to school here?
Yeah, I mean, speed shows up every day, and he did it. I mean, I love the hustle play, and he's been doing that a lot. We've seen that, but the hustle play, and that got us the second run. I mean, if he comes out of the box satisfied with the base hit, we're probably not sitting here right now. So that's what he's been doing. No, he plays hard every single day. I think he's usually the first guy here every day, working on his body and working to stay in shape and stretching and all the things that he's supposed to do. He puts in the time and work. And so his play is a reflection of him, which is he works out hard, he trains hard, and he plays hard.
Jacob?
What's the impact of being able to bookend the speed of Joe and Drew 1 and 9 in your lineup to be able to turn over the lineup that way?
And that was a little bit of a tweak in the lineup tonight. And, I actually said before the game, I feel better with this lineup tonight because of what you just said. It's, a little bit of pressure. And if you've got those guys at the top and Baez is going to start clicking, we're not worried about that. And the guys that can hit that double after them, those guys have the ability to score from first base on that. So that's why we made the adjustment. I actually like that a little bit better, and I'm sure we'll try that tomorrow as well.
Jeff?
When you have someone like Kai that makes that play right at the beginning of the game, what kind of jolt of energy is that? And then can you also comment on his home run too?
Yeah, well, that was big because, we had a bad taste in our mouth, obviously, from last night. That was a tough way to let one get away. And I think we wanted to come out and set the tone. I'd be lying to you if I said we didn't want to set the tone a little bit offensively, but for him to do that defensively was great. I mean, I got guys in the game and, him selling out and making that play. But again, that's what he's been doing in the inter squads. That's nothing different than how he's been playing. And then to hang in there, and I believe that was the 2-strike home run, and he got the pitch up and got it out and got our offense going a little bit. So very much a key to our success tonight on both sides of baseball.
Jacob,
What kind of went into the decision to bring Justin Fall out in the role that you had him in tonight? And is that something that we could see a little more moving forward, just that kind of high leverage, long inning relief type of role?
Well, like we said, in these things before leading up to the season, we're still trying to figure out who that closer role is. And he certainly, as we've talked on this, was in the mix for that. And it just was going to take some time to work it out. And because guys do it in the inter squads, but we want to see it in the game. We got so many new faces, so many guys that haven't played baseball at Arizona State. We're still wanting to see them in a real competitive game. But Fall, we just thought with the dominant fastball that he has, we like those matchups early. He, we kind of had the idea going into tonight that Ethan was going to be on the back end regardless. So we wanted to put our, 2 pretty competitive guys out there. So we gave him the ball. We honestly were going to let him run with it as long as he was effective. And that was nice to see him stretch it out. But he'll be down. I doubt that we'll have him up tomorrow. And we knew that, and that went into the decision too to leave him in there a little bit longer.
Michael,
What have been your observations of Sacramento State over the past few games?
I missed that. I didn't hear that.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but it was muffled. I didn't hear that.
Okay. Sorry about that. What have been your thoughts about Sacramento State over the past few games of the series?
Well, we knew. I mean, honestly, they're a very, very good baseball team. Reggie does a phenomenal job with those guys. They've been very successful. And we knew coming into the weekend that we were going to see Pac-12 caliber starting pitching from them, and they have not disappointed in that. They have been really, really solid on the mound. They're a veteran team, a lot of seniors on that team. They got basically everybody back from last year's, I think, conference championship team. So we knew that this was going to be a challenge, and it's a great challenge in the weekend, but a lot of respect for them. And we know that we have to come out and play our best baseball to beat them because they've got a lot of pride. They know how to win. They're well coached, and it's definitely not a gimme. We got to bring our best tomorrow if we want to win this series. A lot of respect for how they've played, but it doesn't surprise us. We knew they were very, very good.
Jacob,
Last year, we kind of saw Justin struggle to get the slider working consistently. And tonight we really saw that working, especially when he buried it on the plate. When did you kind of see, whether it was over the fall or in the weeks leading up to the season, that start to kind of come back for him? And what kind of impact do you think that has for his stuff in general?
Well, that's the work. It goes back to the work and the plan and the time that JK and the program that he instills with those guys. And we'll pick off a few things, or he'll pick off a few things that he wants to make improvements on. And then as they accomplish that, then they do a few more. The consistency in the break-in stuff was something that was identified as we needed to improve it. In fact, that's, probably one of the main reasons that he came back. He had a chance to sign last year, but wanted to continue to develop and get better. And he's put the time in, and therefore the results are better. But, lot of season left. And we're going to need him to be even better than he was tonight. And but that's a good start. It's a good start for him this first weekend to get out there a couple times and have success.